Shalom, my brothers. I truly pray all is well with you and your families. Today, I want to talk about something I am asked often, but that's rarely discussed in a mature way. What do you do when you finally realize that the woman you're with doesn't really care about you? I'm not talking about small disagreements. I'm talking about when you finally see that you're only good to her for what you can do and what you can provide. And praise Yah, my brothers, if you can discover this before you marry her. But let's be authentic. Many of us stay with this type of woman usually because she's attractive. And since lust clouds the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain the Most High gave us to make wise decisions, we keep making excuses to stay with the pig simply because it has a gold ring in its snout. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 22 states, "Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion." Even King Lemuel in Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31, describes a virtuous woman not by how she looks, but her characteristics. He says she is the one who is hard to find. He closes with the very words that every man needs to etch into his heart. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Most High shall be praised. In other words, don't get trapped by charm or distracted by beauty. They're temporary. But if she has reverence for Yah, humility, and is open to accountability, those qualities, my brothers, are eternal. Those qualities build a marriage. Without them, you're simply building on the sand of emotions. And what I mean by those qualities are eternal is that if you marry a woman who doesn't have those qualities and she leads you off the path of righteousness, you won't make it to eternity with Yah. This is why it's imperative that we do not marry by sight, but marry by faith. What I mean by that is juxtapose the woman you're considering to marry by what lines up in Scripture in regard to the type of woman we should become one with. I'm actually creating a study about the virtuous woman for my Patreon brotherhood. So if you'd like to go deeper and learn more about the type of woman you should be pursuing for marriage, click the link in the description below. What does it look like when a woman doesn't really care about you? What I also want you to consider is that you can be with a woman who loves you, but not necessarily like you. A woman who sees the benefit of marrying you, but doesn't really care about you, may have moments of kindness, may show you moments of her being tender towards you. She may even support you in certain ventures. But ask yourself this: does she support you in the way you ask for it, or only in the way she wants to give it? My brothers, that's not support. That's subtle control. And if she can't honor your voice in the small things, she won't honor your leadership in the greater things. Also, I want you to observe what happens when there's conflict, when you two don't agree. Does she dismiss your concerns? Does she rebel against accountability, never willing to admit she's wrong? Does she meet you with disrespect instead of honest dialogue? Sometimes, my brothers, the only concern you'll see from a woman like this is when your downfall threatens her stability. She doesn't care that you're struggling. She only cares because if you stay down, it affects her life as well. When you recognize this self-serving behavior, please don't ignore it. Stop turning red flags into a white one. Don't surrender. Don't settle for less than you know a woman should be in a relationship. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 9 warns us that it's better to live on a corner of the roof than to share a house with a contentious woman. If she has no regard for your heart now, that tension will only multiply when you marry her. And Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1 reminds us that the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish woman tears hers down. A woman without care or respect for you will eventually sabotage everything because she's too busy trying to save herself instead of building with you. And let me warn you of the opposite extreme, because it's also just as dangerous. You don't want to marry a woman like the one in the classic movie Coming to America. Remember the scene when Eddie Murphy's bride-to-be says, "I like whatever you like." That might stroke your ego, my brothers, but that's not partnership. That's performance. A woman who has no voice, no convictions, no ability to critically think isn't ready for covenant. Marriage requires two people becoming one, not one person pretending just to keep the other happy. Now, let me be clear. I'm not talking to the men who manipulates or misuses women. I'm speaking to the good men, the ones who sincerely want to build a covenant, want to have a legacy, but who are starting to see troubling signs. My brothers, please don't ignore what Yah is showing you. If she doesn't respect you before marriage, she will not honor you when you're married. You wouldn't buy a house with a cracked foundation. Why would you join yourself to someone who has already confirmed that you can't build with her? So what do you do when you recognize the woman you love doesn't really care about you? Well, number one, pause. Don't rush into marriage hoping she'll change. Time reveals what charm tries to cover. Number two, pray. Seek Yah's wisdom. Ask him for clarity and courage to walk away if this is the wrong woman. And lastly, number three, protect. Guard your heart, but do not hoard it. In other words, my brothers, don't allow the wrong woman to detour you from the path that leads to your wife. Marriage is a covenant between man and woman. They become one, not stay as two. They care for one another, respect one another, and build together. Men, guard your heart, guard your future, and wait for the right one who truly loves and honors Yah. In that, she will honor and love you. As always, I hope this video encouraged you. If you want to be notified when I upload another one, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. But if you're ready to dive deeper, if you want to be trained by me and walk shoulder to shoulder with a community of brothers seeking to become comprehensive men, then join my Patreon brotherhood. That's where the real work begins. Link is in the description below. Until next time, my brothers, keep growing, keep building, and keep striving to be the man the moment demands. Shalom.